Hello everyone and welcome back to Affinity for Commander. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to upgrade the Miracle Worker Precon whilst coming Aminatou the Veil Piercer as our commander. As always, if you like any of the cards you see here in this video today, then be sure to make all of your purchases through our lovely affiliate links in the description box below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but really helps the channel out quite a lot. And as always, all prices you see here today are provided by the fabulous sponsor of our channel, cardmarket.com. Now, before we get into the upgrades, let's actually take a look at what our commander does. Aminatou Veil Piercer is a 2/4 legendary human wizard for 1 generic, 1 black, 1 white, and 1 blue. She reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 2. And each enchantment card in your hand has Miracle. Its Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4 generic. So Aminatou lets us fix our draws with a lovely surveil trigger, and then hopefully let's get that Miracle cost off, and then able to play out a massive enchantment for a reduced mana value. Plus we can then also bin off some other things into our graveyard that we can then reanimate later. Good bit of synergy. And whilst this precon does have some pretty solid bases and some good reprints in it, there are some cards we can definitely improve upon. So for stars, we're going to be taking out 9 non-land cards. Burnished Heart isn't an enchantment and doesn't really fit the theme of our deck, and yes, I get the fact they ramp us, but quite frankly, our artifacts are going to do just fine for that. So yeah, out. Dream Eater is a fine creature bounce spell, but considering it is 6 mana and again, not an enchantment, I'm really not seeing the understanding behind it being in the deck beyond that Surveil 4 trigger, which again, nice, but not really what I'm looking for. And it's the same story with Prognostic Sphinx. Again, Scry 3, great, love it. But for 5 mana, I want a little bit more out of my, blue rares. Speaking of way too much mana, Aminatou's Augury is a potential blowout card, but considering we're trying to grind value with enchantments here in Esper, I'm just really not seeing this being a card that we need in the deck, especially for that high mana cost. Return to Dust has a literal better version. Spirit Sister's Call is meant to be the card we play to be able to sacrifice our not so good enchantments to get back the cards that we surveilled away on like turn 4 or 5 and then use them at the appropriate time. However, this implies the enchantment cards we have out now aren't great, which is a bit weird considering we're running the cards, so why are they bad cards? But I just also don't like the fact this could be a card we're drawing in the first few turns and then it's just essentially dead, and it especially becomes dead if we are in a good position in the game. Sphere of Safety is potentially the ultimate pillow fort card, but then we aren't really pillow forting here. We have removal, board wipes creatures, and Aminatou has a fine toughness to block creatures with, so we aren't really that helpless that we need cards like this. And now we need to be taking out 9 non-basic land cards. The Thriving Lands are out because I hate them. They come in tapped and are essentially just a worse version of any of the other tap lands. Like, just why? Heck, even the Temples of Deceit, Malady, and Enlightenment do more than the Thriving Lands. And I'm taking those out too. I just genuinely can't with lands that come in tapped and really don't do anywhere near enough. And Scry 1, yes, I get it, it's for the Miracle cost. But honestly, it's just not good enough, especially if it's going to be our 4th mana producer, so we can't even play our commander on curve and start getting that surveil trigger to fix our lands. I'd prefer Aminatou on curve than playing these lands. And throw onto the tapped land pile Orzo Basilica, Azorius Chancery, and Demir Aqueduct, because again, we don't really have any hand land synergies like Tulane or Windgrace might. They just seem a bit weird being in here. And top this up with us losing 2 of the basics from the deck, and we now have a respectable land count of what will be 36 after we add back in some better fixing. Now, onto the cards that we're putting in. Firstly, and weird it isn't in the deck, Banishing Stroke, a powerful Miracle card to get rid of most annoying permanents. Entity Tracker is a new enchantress from Duskmourn, and since we are an enchantment focused deck, will be helping us draw a good deal of cards. Imprisoned in the Moon for some solid enchantment based removal. Archon of Sun's Grace to make us many flying horses, which, yes, I know we already have Sigil the Empty Throne in the deck, but redundancy is not really a bad thing. Enduring Curiosity is also a new card from Duskmourn. Lets us draw more cards when we hit in, hopefully with these many Pegasuses. A herd of flying horses. Grim Guardian to start draining our opponents of their life throughout the game. One such enchantment for this is Blind Obedience that will stop any hasty creatures and can also help with draining our opponents with that lovely, lovely Extort trigger. After all, we're going to be casting our enchantments for a reduced cost, so we need to use that mana for something. Zur Eternal Schemer is our last creature include, being able to give cards like Doomwake Giant or Fear of Sleep Paralysis Hexproof and Lifelink and Death Touch is just really funny. Plus, you can turn our regular enchantments into Hexproof Death Touchy Lifelinkers as well. And finally the Of Course card, Aminatou the Fate Shifter. She fixes the top card of our library by putting a high costing enchantment from our hand on top to miracle out later, and she flickers cards like Moon Blessed Cleric to have such honestly great synergy. I really find it odd that she wasn't included in the deck to begin with, but hey ho. And now we need to put back in 9 lands for fixing. Glacial Fortress, Isolated Chapel and Drowned Catacomb should all be entering untapped, especially with the other lands that we're including like Sunken Hollow and Prairie Stream that have the basic land types on them as well. Exotic Orchard is just good fixing that again does not enter tapped. And we finally got some cards to help shuffle our library like Fabled Passage that we should all be very grateful got a reprint in Bloomburrow and Contaminated Landscape. So then when we do put a card on top of our library that we really don't want right now, like say with Aminatou or the Surveil just really wasn't good, then we're able to shuffle it away and hopefully get something better. Overall, I quite like this Esper Surveil style of play, where you can get what you need for a cheaper mana cost and fix top your library, and then bin what you don't for later revival. Now, do I think she's as good as her former self? No, I don't. 3 mana Aminatou just does everything that you want it to do and more, and also has great combo synergies. But having this version that has a much more clear definitive path with Esper enchantments, I also quite like. And you know, maybe that's just growing up. Going from being a massive combo enabler to, forging ahead with your own distinct deck archetype. I should get that on a shirt. And that will be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What cards are you really excited to put into the Aminatou precon? Let me know in the comments below. We read every single one of them. As always, all Affinity for Commander content is made possible thanks to the support of our amazing patrons. You guys are truly awesome. If you'd like to become a patron of the channel yourself and get access to exclusive EDH related rewards, then check out our Patreon link in the description box below. You can also support the channel through the quick and easy ways, liking this video, subscribing, commenting below, and sharing it on your preferred social media platform. But as always, guys, I've been Alex, and I will see you next time.